This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, October the 19th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. High pressure settled in over the southeastern United States and was centered basically in the vicinity of Paducah this morning. And that high allowing temperatures to fall back nicely thanks to the dry cold front that moved through the area on Friday and early Saturday. In the upper atmosphere, we are seeing a trough over the mid-Atlantic states, and we'll come under ridging briefly before another trough digs in. Temperatures across central Alabama this morning, upper 30s across the northeast section, but generally 40s, so it's a cool, crisp autumn morning. On the watch warning map, we don't have much to deal with, but we are seeing some frost advisories across parts of the Ohio River Valley and from Chicago over into the New York area. The QPF forecast pretty much gives you the story for the next 5 days and actually for the next week or so, and that is no precipitation over the southeastern United States. In the tropics, things are quieting down once again as Gonzalo has moved into the North Atlantic and is continuing to accelerate rapidly away from the Canadian Maritimes today and will be becoming a subtropical storm later today. All right, the 060 GFS model run this morning, and there's the surface high moving in across the area, that giving good weather to the entire eastern half of the United States. The high will move off the Virginia coast on Monday, so once again, good moisture, but we're seeing the high pressure elongate, so we're not seeing any moisture return. But in the meantime, as our first trough moves off out through the Canadian Maritime provinces, we're seeing another trough dig in through the eastern Great Lakes. And that trough will dig down into the mid-Atlantic states on Tuesday. And as it does, it'll drag a cold front down through the southeastern U.S., but just like the previous cold front, we may see there's going to be very limited moisture, so we may see a few clouds in the sky, but the moisture is limited enough we won't see any precipitation. That particular system cuts off a closed low over the mid-Atlantic states on Wednesday, and that will bring us another cool morning on Wednesday morning and into Thursday morning as we come under a ridge that is just to the west of that closed low that will be situated over about New York City on Thursday. In the meantime, though, the pattern is very fast, and we see another trough coming in through the Dakotas. That one digs in and is likely to dig in and around that closed low that is now off of New England. And so we see a nice trough coming in across the southeastern U.S. But once again, because that trough is moving through the area, and this is Saturday, we see that the trough is moving through dry as it is gradually replaced behind it with surface high pressure. So it looks like we're going to stay dry for the week ahead. And we get out to Sunday, finally, we're under another ridge, so we should see a little bit of warming. But temperatures over the next week are going to be very typical for October, as we see highs generally in the 70s as we drop back a little bit after that dry front on Tuesday. The pattern stays pretty fast even as we get out into voodoo country. Around the 28th, we see probably what could be the next rainmaker for central Alabama, as we see another substantial trough moving through the central part of the United States. And while it looked like yesterday we might not see any rain until early November, this is pretty late October, so it looks like we're going to stay mostly dry through about the October 28th or so. And then as we get out to the end of the period, we see a very interesting pattern around the 3rd of November with a strong trough over the Great Lakes area, but a cutoff low over and just to the south of the Four Corners area. So an interesting pattern that could bring us some moisture out of the Pacific, so that could actually produce some rainy weather for early November. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Extreme video for this morning. James Spann will have the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for any updates. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great Sunday and Godspeed.